Welcome to Nurse 720, Outcome Management and Quality Improvement. The aim of this course is for students to identify a clinical problem, practice issue, or population health need. Then, develop a viable solution to the problem that's been identified. The course outcomes are as follows: recognize gaps and problems in care delivery that impact safety and quality. Discuss the role of the advanced practice nurse in developing viable solutions to clinical problems, practice issues, or population health needs. Critique economic evaluations related to advanced practice nurses' practice. Compare different methods and process and outcome measures in evaluating the advanced practices nurses' efficiency and effectiveness. Integrate solutions to the most common design problems and implementation challenges. Evaluate various instruments, tools to measure the impact of care and interventions. And then lastly, assess outcomes of collaboration across disciplines. These are the two textbooks. We talked about these when we had a meeting across from across to Minneapolis in November. These are the two textbooks that we will be using. And then also we will have a chapter 2 from the Complexity Leadership. Most of you have taken Nursing 730 and have this text. If you sold it or lost it, the chapters that are assigned, you will do fine without referring to those chapters. It is a good supplementary text, and so if you hung on to it, it's an optional book for this semester. This is a screenshot from Moodle. This is important, for you to know how I proceed with this course. You've had these classes before, so you're familiar. As far as the announcements, I do post quite a bit of announcements throughout the semester. Please refer to this area. Oftentimes, students will send me either text or email and have a need for clarity, or they may want more detailed explanation. And so I always will then further post that question in the announcement section, because if one student needs clarity, I assume oftentimes that many do. And so I will put announcements of that nature or just overall course updates in that section, so please refer to that. Introductions, I already see that some folks have introduced themselves, so please make sure that is an expectation that all of you in the next week introduce yourself to your classmates. We have a large class, and so it'll be important for you to get to know one another and become familiar with your backgrounds. Course questions. Again, as I shared, some folks send me email or text or call me, but feel free to use this section to post any course questions as well. This is my contact information. Don't hesitate to reach out to me at any time. I follow the Viterbo policies as far as getting back to students within 24 hours during the week, and then 48 on the weekend. However, I do try to respond much quicker than that, and typically it's within the same day that I respond to students. If there's something urgent, don't hesitate to text or call me, though. Okay, design of the class. This is important. Online discussion, 30% of your grade. The problem identification and root cause analysis is 25%. Project goal and process outcome measures, 10%. And then also quality improvement and outcome evaluation, your final paper, is 35%. So again, these are the areas of what your grade is going to be based upon. Further about the design of the course, the modulars are set up in 2-week intervals. Again, this was very popular as I had shared with all of you about a month ago. What I'd like you to do is develop your responses during the first week. So again, you have time to actually think about it. You're not rushed into not only posting your response, but then responding to all the other students. But rather, week 1 is going to be where you're going to be engaging on the readings, watching videos, and the other links as far as getting to your knowledge about the content. Posting your response then, and then by the very end of the week, you'll be responding to your classmates. But then the following week, so week 2 of each of the 2-week modules, you're then going to be engaging in interaction throughout this week. And I will be observing. Oftentimes, I will join in the discussion if I see a need early on. Otherwise, there are times that I'll just have a summary at the very end if the conversation seems to be interactive and students responding to another. I may respond to each student. I may respond to the whole group. So again, I engage in the discussion as I see need to do it. Simultaneously, students will be developing a project that will be submitted at the very end of the course. This is very important. Your focus will remain on one area or one gap or problem that you've identified. So all the concepts throughout this multi-week semester is going to be, it'll culminate into your final assignment, but also it will be applying to your DMP projects as well as your future practice. Discussions. Okay, these are key points, and again, being that 30% of your grade is reliant on this, I really put a lot into the discussions. So in an online course, this is your participation. So very much like if you were sitting in a classroom, if you engage very little or if your responses do not have much depth, it would show limited understanding. So these are the key points. So again, this is a very important slide. Discussion is an essential component. Post by the due date. In this course, it's a little bit different than when I was teaching leadership. You respond to at least 2 other students' posts. So most of your groups, you have 5 to 6 students. You will respond, one response for question number 1, another response for question number 2. You will participate actively for the duration of the session. Your responses should be 250 words or less. Please use scholarly formatting. There will be times where it will be more casual or informal, and that's completely fine. But for the most part, you should be supporting your opinions by references within and beyond the course. If you are seeking out other references, it demonstrates to me that you're expanding your knowledge and seeking more information than what the expected readings are. I do expect that you will ask your peers analytical questions, and again, this demonstrates that you're applying the content from the course. Also provide substantive and constructive feedback to your peers. Read all the discussion forum threads to achieve the highest degree of learning. And what this means is actually going into the other groups, and you do have you don't contribute to their discussion, but you can check to see what types of responses that the other groups have as well. Review the rubric so you are able to get the full amount of credit for the discussion grouping. These are the topics, and again, we talked about this when we had our meeting in early November. You'll be getting more and more used to the data as you proceed within this course. So the root cause analysis assignment, in this, the expectations are that you actually get actively involved. You must include one of the following, if not more than this, to validate that this is a problem or an issue or a gap. You want to make sure that you're doing a direct observation of the process, that you interview a leader at the organization, that you may have a discussion with staff and interview and have conversations with an advanced practice nurse or a physician. Due date for this assignment is Sunday, February 23rd at 11:59 p.m. You will then have a SMART objectives, and this goes on during weeks 7 and 8. More information will be forthcoming. There is a Jing presentation, weeks 9, 10, and 11. Now, some students in the past had said, well, this should have had a grade assigned to it, but I have very consciously, this is your discussion for weeks 9, 10, and 11. So you're creating, and you'll get more information on this, but you're going to be creating kind of like a poster presentation, and it's highly engaged with the students in your groups during these weeks. So again, in lieu of discussion, or this actually is your discussion, there is not a grade assigned to this, but the quality of your Jing presentation and then follow through is your discussion grade for these weeks. This is your final assignment. This is where you're going to propose your quality improvement project. This should have been built upon the entire semester. It's based on the root cause analysis is the foundation. All your forum postings will address the majority of the elements within the paper. And basically, if you take the feedback from your peers as well as from me and fine-tune, make adjustments and corrections, expansions, you will then be able to pull your final paper together. It should not be so difficult at the end of the semester, because again, and this all makes sense as you go along, different aspects of each of the assignments and discussions will pull together. Paper will be no more than 15 pages in length, and this is including your cover page as well as your references in APA format. Please also include new sources, so not just the assigned readings from the course, from the class. So, and that is due April 26th again at 11:59 p.m. So more information will be coming. I again am excited for this course. I'm excited to have all of you again with me, and I'm looking forward to a great semester.